February 16th, 2019. We're with Kyle.
Mm-hmm. And
Marshal.
my friends.
Marshal.
Yeah, you should talk. I have even fewer.
Marshal Clayton Pierce.
Clayton.
Who is, okay, so we're jumping back time-wise from other games. It's November, okay, so Saturday, November 13th was that night that you guys had the thing in the saloon. Jack Parker was caught. Big old gunfight. Gunned down Rex in the alley behind the saloon and managed to escape. That evening, you rode as far as you could, probably for several hours after dark, before everybody was exhausted. You discussed what to do. They said, okay, we're going to take the Crescent and we're going to go into the mountains and hide it.
Right.
I'm assuming they didn't want Jack Parker to know what you guys were planning on doing it. And what they would have told you is they're going to go to where Chikali lives in
they did say that. I remember that part.
In Arizona, southern Arizona, right on the cross of the territories and the states there. It's right in that area near the Navajo reservation. And they're going to bury it. They're going to hide it there in her property somewhere.
Okay.
And then they took off. You and Jack Parker continued on down the road, down the Arkansas River Road, because you're heading back for Denver. Because I'm assuming, at least presently, that's the fastest way. If you get to Denver, you can grab a train and get all the way back to San Francisco to where you can deal with Jack Parker if you want to imprison him or put him up for trial or whatever. Hey, what are you doing? So, it's your decision now what to do about him and how much roleplay you want to actually pursue with this whole situation. It's just him and you. He's on that rented horse. Steloid hooked his own horse up to the buckboard that had the crescent in it. So he's on that horse from the livery stables. You're on your horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you want to role play out any talking with him or if you just want to gloss over it.
I would, yeah.
What do you want to do? How do you want to handle it? It's up to you.
We don't need to role play just because I need to slowly work myself back in.
That's fine.
Figuring out how I play my character and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I was going to. I think he gave me permission to turn him in for 10,000.
Yeah, he wants to serve. He wants justice to be served. He knows that it can't be entirely, but he wants to at least attempt to make good on the bad that he's caused before.
Right. So I think that is what I will do. Okay. I will turn him in and collect the bounty. It's not really so much for the money thing. It really is just kind of for more of my morality.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
consider revenge at this point. Well, this will be sort of revenge, I guess. Yeah, it's not as good as gunning him down, but
yeah. So it's not my what I wanted. To happen. I wanted to have a one-on-one with this guy and kind of exact my own revenge. But, he has hurt other people, and I think that he should be turned in at least for that.
Right.
Even though, they all got, money back. I mean, there's still people that died.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that died.
So, I still need to, kind of get justice for those people. So, definitely going to turn him in. But I did just want to, see if there's anything I can learn from him.
Oh yeah,
he definitely.
He'll talk to you. He'll tell you whatever you want to know. To be quite honest, anything that will help you, because it seems completely trusts you.
Right.
In whatever decision you make, and if you change your mind somewhere down the line and blow his head off before you get back, he seems okay with that.
Yeah, he's fine with that too.
He wants to make up as much as he can for the terrible things he's done. He seems like a totally different person.
I just want to know how he got the powers he got. Because those are insane.
The Crescent, okay, he isn't sure exactly. He just knows that the Crescent affects people. It affected him. And it didn't really talk to him, but he got, impressions from it, images sometimes. And at some point, he started finding he could do other things.
Right.
And actually, that started really early. When he came out of the river, he was still clutching it. When he when he was shot off the train.
Right.
He was still clutching it, and he walked a ways, and then kind of lifted off the ground. And more floated somewhere, but a lot of those memories are kind of they're scattered and they're shattered because he was in a bad place.
Right, but it still changed him.
Yes, but they hung on to it. It was real near him all the time, and over time he was able to manipulate everything. It seemed like, and he could read minds occasionally when he needed to. He could move objects. He could stop bullets, as you saw.
Right.
He doesn't know how this all happened. It just kind of happened.
Was he I want to know if he was completely transformed from the get-go. Like, was he a different... Like, when he came out of the river, was he a different person, or did he exposed...
It was over time.
Just being
at first, and he'll admit to you, at first, when he started to feel these changes, he was excited. Oh, he could do some wonderful things like rob banks and blow people's heads off. But over a short period of time, all of a sudden, he started coming to this realization of the terrible things he'd done, and that he had to confront that and see these terrible things that he had done instead of just being... Because before that, he'd put a blind eye to it. Oh, I just killed a man. All right, let's have a drink. Let's just think about other things. And he would always kind of block it off. And the Crescent forced him to kind of look at the life that he had led and actually look at it. Is the way he describes it.
So why doesn't John Valentine share the same sentiments as him? Why is he still just evil, even though he's had exposure?
He doesn't know for sure.
Okay.
Something's wrong with Valentine. It might be because Valentine's completely mad. And Jack Parker tells you he doesn't think he's insane. He's seen some stuff, and his mind probably is not the best shape. But Valentine went mad a few years ago when he found the Crescent that he found, the damaged one. And he might have been mad before that. He was a pretty awful person. Maybe exposure to the Crescent that they took away would help him. He doesn't know. But there's something else off about John Valentine. And he's never been able to quite figure that out. And it got worse about a year ago, and after he found the Crescent.
So yeah, I got probably two more big questions.
So that's fine. If you think of somebody that later we can retro him in, you're going to be with this guy for over a week.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. Should I expose myself to the Crescent?
He doesn't know. He knows that he knows it will affect different people differently, and he doesn't know why.
Right.
He never really... It's not like he sat down and had a heart-to-heart with it. It just kind of... It showed him things, and it sometimes gave him, like, impressions, or, like, you should go here, or... and that kind of stuff occasionally, too. It seems like it's intelligent, and that's how he talks about it. Like it's a person.
Can I, like... I don't know if this is too weird for the Old West, but can I, like, have, like, an idea? What... Okay, how does idea work again? If I roll under my idea, you'll tell me if I'm correct? Or...
It depends.
Okay.
Idea is mainly used if you hit a blank wall and you need a clue, then I can use that. But I can also use it for what question do you want to know?
I want to know if the Crescent is like, what's the word I'm looking for? I think this is the wrong word, but like self-conservation. Like if it like will help people / do things to like better.
Has it got its own agenda? Is that what you're talking about?
Not necessarily that, but like when we shot, when Jack Parker was shot out of the train into the river, I don't think the Crescent wants to be in a river. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So like maybe it like allows.
It's got its own agenda. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, like I think that is a part of it, but I also think it's like maybe it didn't really care for Jack Parker, but it had to keep Jack Parker alive and give him powers because it's just going to be stuck in a river.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that.
Yeah.
There's no way to make a roll to really know that. That's a good potential.
But some people do die to it, right? That's what the piles of ash were, besides
yes.
and stuff.
Yeah. He's pretty certain that some of those criminals got.
So it's risky.
Yes, it can be, but it doesn't. Like I said, he doesn't know why. It shows him because he was a terrible person. And if it's because you're a terrible person, then he should have been turned to a pile of ash.
Right.
And if you just talk to him about this, like, do you think it has an agenda, blah, 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 do you talk to Parker about that?
Yeah, because I think my character is getting more open to the idea that this is weird stuff.
Yeah,
it started off, this is not happening, and then it became, this is happening, but it's not as weird as it looks. It's like some other thing. And then it's becoming more like, okay, this is just how it is, I guess. I mean, people can stop bullets. And
the thing is, and he does tell you, if it was just following agenda and using him, he ran into other people after a few days. Why wouldn't it switch? Eliminate him and pick someone who might be better suited for it, or unless he was the best suited. He doesn't know. He's just guessing. The other thing he can tell you is that initial train robbery that he was involved in on the Sequoia Star. There was
the train we were on?
Okay. There was a rich fellow from San Francisco who hired them to steal the Crescent. He doesn't know exactly who it is.
Oh, we know who it is.
Well, if you know who it is, okay.
I don't remember the guy's name.
He thinks it was the guy Rothschild.
Okay, yeah.
He thinks it was the guy who owned the mine where it was initially found. He thinks, but whoever it was only talked to Valentine, and then Valentine sent him and some men, and they had some Indian shaman that could call down dragons or whatever to help them out. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the order of events is it's found in this mine, government gets involved, government fully takes over, and then, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he would pay for it to be robbed from the government.
Valentine wasn't going to give it to him. He doesn't know that.
Right,
he was going to take his money, and then Valentine was keeping it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So
he hired the wrong guy to do that.
But he's in San Francisco, so FYI. I don't know if you want to do anything about that or not.
Probably not solo.
Okay.
You know.
You could. It could be good.
I mean, if you give me enough hints that I should go for it, then
it's
sure.
up to you.
But I am a solo man right now.
Yes, but you're the law.
I am the law.
So that's up to you. You get back to San Francisco without any major incidents.
Oh no, I have one more question.
Oh yeah. Like I said, we'll retro another stuff if you want.
I can't think of like any other big questions. There might just be like something small that I'm like, hey, that's something I would have asked him. Because like you said, I'm sitting here 15 minutes with questions to ask, but we had a week.
A lot of time to sleep.
But definitely I wanted to ask him what he thinks we can do to take Valentine down. Because I mean, it seems like the guy's unstoppable. So it's like, surely him with his Crescent knowledge and the fact that John Valentine is sort of like the same thing as him. I mean,
yeah. Well, Valentine's different from what Valentine was messing with voodoo people and some strange books and papers occasionally. So let's see. Yeah, 49. That's under 50. He doesn't think Valentine's invulnerable. He can be hit by several bullets, but if you just keep shooting, his thought is that Valentine will go down. Also, he doesn't think the protection from bullets would help him if you just like grabbed him. You know what I mean? But he does have these talents. He knows magic or something, so he is very dangerous. And he's also crazy. Nothing seems to faze him. Nothing seems to bother him, at least as far as anything that a lawman or somebody like that could do.
Well,
he hopes that you will take Valentine to justice like you are taking him. Get him tried for his crimes, have him punished by the law, that kind of thing. Because he says it's going to be a bigger taint. He thinks it's a bigger taint on you if you exact revenge and just murder him outright. But that's just him, and you've got to do what you think is the best to do.
So risky to try to arrest a guy like that.
So, yeah, that's just what he's saying. But remember, this guy's all like, he's totally changed, and he just wants what's best for everybody anymore, so.
Does he want to help with that?
Oh, yeah, he'll help you. Well,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
He doesn't know a lot of, like, Valentine's, like, all of his, like, little hidey holes, but he can tell you where a couple of his hideouts are that would have gear and, like weaponry, money, gear, like safe houses that he has hidden in probably mostly the Colorado area.
Well, he wants me to turn him in and or basically like kill him if I want to kill him. I'm asking if he wants to actually help our group, like be a part of.
If that's what the judge decides, if that's what a trial decides, but he thinks he needs to pay his debt to society before he can make any of those kind of decisions. He seems really moral. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to do the right thing, obviously.
Yeah. I'll turn him in.
Okay.
If that's something like he kind of wanted, like if he was like, I think John Valentine needs to be taken down, and also I'll help you guys do it, then I was gonna kind of maybe let him do that. But yeah, I'll just turn him in then.
If the judge lets him loose on probation or something, he'll be more than happy to help you.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not. He's gonna have to be tried. Best he can hope for is probably a lengthy, if not life prison sentence, if not outright hung. You can do like a deposition and stuff, and you can make a recommendation. And if you put in a good word for him, he might not get hung. He'll just end up in prison. You know what I mean? But that's going to be up to Clayton Pierce.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna really put my what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna try to put my credibility on the line.
No, you don't have to.
Or my
you could basically, if you just write out a thing that says you think that this man is sincere in his regret.
That's
and wants to repay society.
Yeah, that's
and that you think that
it
it could be better repaid by him going to prison instead of just being hung. Because if he goes to prison, then he will be...
He can work for the government.
Yeah, essentially. Or he can... It's a big old beetle.
Big beetle.
God damn. Go away.
I'll basically say something like, after I captured him and all this other stuff, that he does seem like he has regret for the things he's done, but the things he's done are also incredibly terrible. So, if we need to...
I'll go to prison, but your recommendation was send him to prison instead of the gallows.
Yeah. That's what I try to do. What are we doing?
No, stand here. This is a big old stink bug.
Yeah. That'll be basically what I say.
Okay. And then it's going to be up to a jury whether he's guilty or not, but the judge then can take your words into consideration instead of just string him up.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with a big judicial system in San Francisco, not some small town where he's murdered 5 people. They're just like, yeah, we'll get a jury together.
They're like, no.
He'll be tried by tomorrow.
I want to hang this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
The people are hungry for hanging.
So you know about Rothschild.
Yeah.
Do you want to do anything about that once you get back to San Francisco in late November, early December?
Not really a retro because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I would like a map of all the locations that he knows Valentine, safe houses.
Yeah, he's going to give you, he gives you couple locations of safe houses he personally knows about. Those are the only ones that he's real familiar with, though. If he thinks of more, he'll try to get that information to you as well.
Okay. Rothschild.
Do you want to confront or talk to Rothschild? That's up to you.
How much does the word of a guilty man carry weight? Because
it's evidence if he's willing, but he didn't see the guy specifically. But you have your suspicions, and you do know Rothschild was at the train before it left for San Francisco.
Right. But I'm trying to use, my own law skill to know if there's any point in the fact that a guilty man who could, basically be hung tomorrow if he wanted, he's telling me that my suspicions could be correct. I don't know that really carries weight. You know what I mean?
Give me a law check.
Today we need hard evidence. I don't know if this is technically hard evidence back in the old times.
It's harder than
I believe this, and I'm a cop, so that's what it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You could also try to trick him into confessing or slipping and saying something. If you accuse him or something like that, you know what I mean? That's up to you though. But you can make me a law check. You can see how much weight this has, and then I'll give you information depending on how well of a roll you make.
Oh, you want me to do a law check?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have law, right?
I do have law. I would hope I have law,
I'm going to give you a chance to roll some dice today.
Man, barely missed it.
Just barely missed it?
50,
Okay.
52 out of 50.
Okay. You know that it won't be, solid proof. It won't hold up in a court. You can always tell this guy whatever you want, get in his face and claim information that isn't true. A lot of police officers will do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing illegal about cops lying to criminals, basically. There still isn't. So you could use that information if you want to try to see if you can trip him up, get him to confess, or something.
Did Parker say how John Valentine was contacted?
Ooh,
because if it was by letter,
he wasn't Rothschild. Whoever it wasn't directly there. That's one of the reasons why Parker's not certain who it is. It was a note brought back and forth from San Francisco by some woman.
Right.
But
there's actual physical evidence.
Yes,
it's not just a man meeting in the night talking to another man.
Valentine would have the notes, or Rothschild would have some notes from Valentine potentially.
Okay.
Whether that would be enough depends on what's in the notes and if they're signed and dated and all that other jazz. So. Dun dun dun.
When was the last time I personally saw Rothschild?
Oh God.
Yeah.
That would have been back in May. No, wait. No, he wasn't at the mine. The Sequoia Star was jumped. I think that was back in May of this year. So about 6 or 8 months. You probably saw him before y'all boarded the train at some point. I know some of them saw him arguing with some of the Secret Service agents about the Crescent while they were there, but I can't remember who exactly noticed him. I think Staloid might have been one of the ones who saw him. He was arguing that was his. That belonged to him.
Yeah.
And the Secret Service agent just totally blew him off. Was just like...
Yeah.
Would not even discuss it with him and just walked away.
Yeah.
And they were in the warehouse next to the train that was where stuff was getting ready to be loaded.
I'll confront him. I'll see what I can get.
You can go to his office. You can go to his house. What time of day do you want to hit him?
If I go to his...
There's a club that you know he frequents? Like Rich Guy Club?
Rich Guy Club.
Yeah.
I think. Let's go to his office.
Okay, so during the day, during working hours, you go to his office.
With plenty of witnesses.
Yeah, there definitely will be because there's people that are working there. His secretary is like a roadblock, but you can get by her pretty easily if you just flash the badge and tell him you have official business or something. And
you don't want to go down with him.
There
it is.
Okay, so he'll see you. He makes you wait like 20 minutes. Kind of dick move. There he is. Got a big cigar. He's sitting behind his desk. He says, "Come on in there, Marshal." He's older. He's probably in his 60s. You could take this guy you could physically take this guy. He's not like, "Hi there, Marshal."
Right.
So he's like 60, 65 years old. He's obviously showing his age, smoking a cigar. Face is kind of ruddy. Like he's in pretty good health, it looks like, but he's not a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is your strength anyway?
Strength is not like all that great. It's 65.
Yeah, you're still bigger than him. So what's your size?
It's 80.
Yeah, you're way taller and way more buff than him. So yeah.
Let us.
I'll try to like.
He's puffing away at his cigar.
Trying to think of how I want to go through with this because I think is just me and him in his office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just seeing you alone. It's a nice big office. He's got a big desk. There's a table over on one side. There's a sideboard. It's probably got a liquor cabinet, big fireplace, big windows, lots of light. This guy's rich and he's showing it off. There's probably some kind of like animal heads, stuffed heads on the walls. There's a big map of the West, showing the western part of America up there with rail lines all marked in, all kinds of stuff.
I think I'm gonna have fun with this.
It's a really, really fucking nice office.
So the first thing I'll do is I'll shut the door behind me and I will lock it.
Okay. Click.
Yeah, just like very subtle things just to see how.
Are you being subtle about it, or do you close it and then you just reach over and click?
Yeah, it's kind of like shut the door. Not really breaking eye contact with him. Locking the door.
And then you lock the door and you walk over. He doesn't break eye contact with you either.
Oh, I'm not even walking over to him yet.
Oh, okay. He's just puffing on his cigar. So he's across the room from you behind this massive fucking desk. Like, must weigh like 200 pounds. It's all solid oak and walnut and teak. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm look over at the the little whiskey cabinet or whatever and be like, "You mind?"
He stands up. He says, "Allow me," and he walks over.
Nice.
I didn't
know if you could get up and do it.
There's a bunch of smoke follows him behind. He kind of hobbles. He's obviously his legs aren't great, and he goes over there and in full sight of you, he pours you each a little bit of whiskey from a nice, beautiful decanter. Neat just takes his up and heads back over to his desk to sit behind. There are 2 chairs in front of his desk. They're leather covered and very comfortable. So. Your whiskey's sitting there. He obviously didn't drug it or anything because it was straight up bloop, 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 and he was very open about it.
What is the phrase of like? Oh, manifest destiny, right?
Manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny.
White people taking the whole country.
I'm gonna have like the whiskey and be like, to manifest destiny.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I knew he would.
It's a nice big sip. It's really fucking good whiskey. It's so smooth. And money.
And
drinks again.
Course, yeah.
So he's sitting behind his desk again.
So I'll just kind of peruse. I'll kind of just peruse his office, taking a look at what he's got. You know, I don't even want him to know why I'm here right now.
A few papers on the desk.
Give him time to think to himself of why I'm here.
Folders, a couple folders that are closed, papers on the desk. Doesn't look like anything really relevant or important.
Are we gonna say that I've already turned in Jack Parker?
if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm assuming that you thought about it, all this
I
stuff.
think that's a
Who's in
person
jail?
I would do. Yeah.
Did you want to drop a dime to the newspapers in town, or do you want to let them find out on their own? And have they found out yet? Has it been in the papers that Jack Parker's been arrested? Okay.
So does he have a newspaper of me with?
There's no pictures. There's not really photographs in newspapers.
No, not a picture of me, but like there is a newspaper, maybe a daily.
Yeah. There's actually on that side table. Over this side, there's a side table. Over this side to the sideboard. And this room is probably as big as this whole apartment area. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of room to walk around. And yeah, there's a newspaper. It just came out this morning. That's what prompted you. How about to come talk to him? Now that Jack Parker's in jail.
I'll try to act like this is the little glass.
Yeah, you can.
I guess you heard the news.
Yeah, I did. Congratulations, Marshal. Well done on getting a criminal off the streets.
10,000.
Tell Clayton Pierce. He takes another sip.
You got to drink with your name, Sid.
That's the name my secretary gave me. That is you, right?
Yeah.
Have a seat. What do you need? Always happy to help the law. Do you laugh like that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just can't keep that one away from what I know, so personally.
Gotcha.
Well, that's.
Oh, he's sitting.
That's good to hear. Obviously, I have come here because I'm in need of a few things.
Investment? You need some help investing that $10,000? I can double that in a year, possibly less.
I'm sure you could, but I'm afraid that full 10,000 is not all mine. I do have constituents that I need to meet up with and pay for their part in the retrieval.
Ah, I see. Well, they were just helpers, though. They don't need to be paid much.
Well, I'm good, but I'm not that good. They did play a significant part.
Shh, but you got your name in the paper. You got the credit.
Well,
you should keep most of the money. Trust me on this. It's how I've made my living. Because he's puffing on his cigar. There's a big cloud of blue smoke. He's enjoying the hell out of it.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment and the advice, but I believe that I will do what I feel is right.
It's your money.
It is. But you know, Jack Parker was only tip of the iceberg, as they say. I don't know if that's a phrase yet. Do we even know icebergs?
Yeah, definitely no iceberg.
Sure. Yeah.
Tip of the iceberg, sure. Why
tip
not?
of the iceberg. From what I understand, there's quite a few men attached to John Valentine. Not just the outlaws, not just the degenerates, but some people are funding his expeditions.
Why, that's scandalous. Scandalous! You can make a psychology check if you want.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, go for it.
It's not good, but you never know.
What'd you get?
12 out of 10.
Ah, no coins on the table. You heard about the new coin rule, right?
Sort of.
If you bring food or drink or something, you can get some coins when you bring it in.
How many? 3 per?
3 per game session. If you bring in like a bag of chips to share, you get 3. If you bring in something great, like awesome food, yeah, I might up that to like 4 or something like that.
Okay.
So, it's stuff that everybody can share with. I'm just trying to encourage people to kind of donate.
Yeah.